What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We're here tonight and we're going to be powder coating jig heads. So before we get started, I want to mention we still got the trout tackle giveaway, and this is going to be given away on March 31st. So if you haven't gotten signed up for that yet, sign up for that. It's 3 duck and buck spinner flies and some of the new trout worms. So make sure to stick around, tune in for that. But yeah, we're going to be powder coating jig heads tonight. You got your powder, this right here. This is your paint. This is just powderized paint. And you can get it in any color. That's hot pink, and this is green gold. Pretty cool color. I'm gonna do some jig heads in that. But so that's your powder paint, and you buy it by the ounce, and it goes a very long ways. All right, so the main tool you're gonna need, you can buy these off of like eBay. People make these. You can tell this is like a homemade rig. Goes to an air pump. But what this is called is a fluid bed. And take this top off right here. You can see you put your powder paint inside. And when you turn this thing on, it's actually, you can adjust your air here and adjust it here as well. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna levitate the powder in this, and it'll actually look like water. So that way it makes it really easy to get a good dip into the fluid bed there. That'll be what we're working with. These are the ones we poured in another video, so if you haven't checked that out, we actually do lead pouring in a previous video. It's pretty cool. So that'll get you to this step. So jig heads right here, they go in our toaster oven, and we've customized this toaster oven just by drilling some holes along this top lip here to hang your hooks in. But all you do is close her up, lights on, starts heating up. We're gonna hang our jigs right across that, and then we're gonna dip them in the fluid bed. All right, so we are working with a run-of-the-mill Hamilton Beach toaster oven slash toast maker. You can switch it back and forth between toast, no toast. And but yeah, easy peasy, man. If you find one of these things at a pawn shop or a thrift shop, somewhere like that, you know, you can get one dirt cheap, and easy way to pick one up. All right, so we've got our toaster oven loaded up. Bada bing, bada boom. And we're just gonna fire that puppy up, crank her up to about 450. And let her eat. And you want to let your metal sit in there for quite a bit. It's not going to melt this stuff down because lead will not melt that easily. But let it sit in there quite a while because you want it to be really hot thoroughly, like all the way through your lead. Not just surface temp, but you want the whole thing hot. So that when we dip it in this fluid bed right here, all the paint will instantly just turn to liquid and stick right to it. Turns out really cool. So check it out. This is a fluid bed. We just plugged it in. You can barely hear this pump humming, but she's wide open right now. And if you look, it doesn't look like it's doing much. You can see some bubbles down there, but watch this. This is powder, but it's gonna look like liquid. You see how that swirls around just like water in a cup? And it's levitating it up so it's aerated so that you can dip in it without it really jacking things up. You know, like you don't want to clump it up when you stick your lead in there. So this allows an even coat. And you can do 1 dip, you can do 2 dips. The more dips you do, the more it's gonna fill your eyes in though, which is kind of a pain, so keep that in mind. Ready to make sure you got a nice pair of insulated pliers so you don't burn your fingertips. And we're gonna grab one of these things, we're gonna dip it in our fluid bed, and I'll show you what this looks like here. All right, so I think we're ready. We've been waiting about 5 minutes, and we've got our fluid bed ready. You can see that down in there. And we've been running these guys in the toaster oven here for about 5-6 minutes. So you're gonna pluck one of these guys out. Remember, these things are super hot, so just take your time. And we're gonna dunk this right down in that fluid bed. Tap it off. You can see it right there, look at that. So it's gonna look like powder for now, but you put it back in here, and in about another 5 minutes, they come out looking pretty. And we're gonna double dip this one to get it extra bright and shiny for us. That's the good thing about this powder is you can do this as many times as you want. It's not gonna mess it up because it's such a uniform method. You can see we're gonna just dip it down in there. And you wanna not dip the hook in there because the hook's gonna be hot too, so it'll stick to the hook as well, but not as easily. And there you go. We're gonna let those just sit, and I'll show you what they look like in about another 5 minutes. All right, moment of truth, guys. We are gonna pluck one out and show you what these guys look like after they've been dipped. Look at that. That is a beautiful jig head. And that's my secret sauce color. Me and Mr. Doug's super blue, if you will. Seems to work really well. Cool thing about this little fluid bed setup is these cups right here come out, and you can swap them out for your new cups, and basically just fill the cups up with your colors, and you never really have to swap them out. Now this one, I'm actually mixing some white with just a hair of blaze orange, and just see how these turn out. But yeah, so we just swap out the fluid bed and we're ready to do the next color. Easy peasy. See that floating in there? And we're just gonna grab another one of these and show you how these guys turn out. Grab it out with your pliers, be extra gentle. Give it the old swirly. Tap it off. You can see the paint is already stuck to that one because it's pretty hot, so that's good, that's what you want. And we're just gonna set it right back up in here and let that pearl dry. It'll actually cook it on there. It'll melt all that powder on the outside there and make a really good coat. And fluid bed, give it the dip. These bigger ones are a little harder to get in there. I'm gonna do the double dip on this guy. There you go. Don't way down here on the end on this time. These white ones, these pearl ones, they turned out absolutely beautiful. Check that out. That is gonna go with like a white swim bait. That's gonna be sick. So the secret to using this toaster oven, it's got the toaster built in the top. If you run it on oven, it's only gonna preheat until it gets to 450 supposedly, and then turn off, and it stayed off a lot of times. So if you set it to toast mode and just push down the side, this thing stays screaming the whole time, and after 3 toast runs, you're ready to go. All right, so here's our finished product. We got a bunch of pearl, bunch of blue, bunch of green and golds, and we made these all the way from hooks, pouring the lead, all the way down to dipping them, and some of these are even going to turn into bucktails. So stick around for that as well. If you like what you're seeing, stay tuned. We got all kinds of good stuff coming up. You get to see us put these lures to use and put a hook in some mouths. So stay around.